Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, April 30th, last day of the month, last day of April 2019. Super excited to have Jessica Laurore on the show. Did I do it right?
Yes, sir.
See, I did it. I can listen occasionally. This is her first go round on the TED Show. So let us know you can hear us and see us. I know it's an interesting time in the afternoon. Tara, what's up? See, I already got a heart. I love it. Al Spry. Okay, good. So, guys, thanks for joining us, and I'm happy to have you, Jessica. So you're one of the shows that I love to do because I know absolutely nothing other than the title. I don't do any research on people, and Jessica and I had not met prior to this that we know of. What's up, Joe Lopez? I'll answer to Teb, so you're good. But I am excited when she gave me the title of the show that she wanted. I thought, look, this is going to be a great conversation because I have no idea what direction we're going. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to have you. All right, so they always like to know a little bit about you, and apparently I'm going to learn as everyone else is. So tell us a little bit about the origin and where you're from and all that good stuff about Jessica.
Cool. So, hi, welcome everyone on Facebook. I am Jessica Laurore. I'm also known as J La Soul. I'm an independent gospel artist. Trying to make some moves on the scene slowly but surely. My origin, my name actually means God is watching over you. My actual government name.
Your government. I love it. We call it government name.
So let's get out the way, which is pretty cool. And J La Soul actually came about during my senior year in high school, with my best friend Khadidra. And I remember at the time I wanted to be called Jessie J, because I'm like, okay, people were
Don't remember that.
Yeah. And lo and behold, Jessie J actually came out. So I'm like,
right.
Well, that name's out of the...
You can't take that name anymore.
Yeah. And she was like, well, what about J La Soul? It's your first name and your last name, and you sing from the song. I'm like, I like you.
I like that. That's good.
Yes.
Did you grow up singing in church? Did you grow up... a lot of people think they have a voice, right? If you've ever seen American Idol auditions. Was music important in your household?
Yes. So growing up, my parents... from my mom first, she grew up listening to a lot of country, and then some, Haitian compa. And with my father now, it was Bob Marley, the whole album, and I grew up falling in love with it and just loving the actual Caribbean, acoustic
right.
and drums and
I'm immediately relaxed when I hear that music.
Yeah.
I don't know why. A steel drum alone. I just feel relaxed.
At ease.
At ease, that's a good word.
Very at ease. And Michael Jackson, too, was a big thing in the house. So I grew up listening to Michael Jackson, and I fell in love with Whitney Houston. And I remember in my middle school, I remember they used to call me Little Whitney. Back then, I could hit them notes. I'm still pretty good, but it's been a while. Now they call me, Miss Anita Baker.
Miss Anita Baker,
yes.
She's amazing. I think there's a lot of people. Hey, Chris. There's a lot of people who don't even know, sadly, who Anita Baker is, and she's so good. So, did you want to have a career in music?
Yes.
Okay, so what did you do to further that early on?
So I attended a lot of conferences, learning about the music business to it. They say it's 90% business and 10% talent, which I totally agree on. Your talent could only take you so far. And if you're not knowledgeable about, the music aspect of it, then, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Right.
Pretty much. So a lot of conferences, writing, listening and watching documentaries on certain artists and how they
you really took it seriously, the
yeah.
business side. I love that because a lot of people think, like you said, talent's the majority of it. But you can't look at a contract. You don't know how to market. There's so many things that you don't know how to do if you don't study the business side and what's successful. So what was your goal? Was your goal always to be a gospel singer, or were you trying to do pop? What did you want to do?
I didn't want to have no boundaries.
I love it.
And I think the person who really inspired me first head-on was Fantasia, especially when she was on American Idol. She was just free in how she sang and delivered her music. Even if it was covers, I just loved it all. And I knew in the back of my mind, okay, even though God gave me that talent for singing, I had to give it back. And so what better way to do it than through gospel music? But I said, you know what? I want to take it a step further. I don't want to just be, traditional, hands lifted up in the air and whatnot. I want to be able to reach different audiences. Whether if you listen to pop, whether if you listen to R&B, how am I supposed to reach you as an artist? Yes, it's entertainment, but also are you being fed spiritually when I sing these songs to you? So I wanted to fuse everything.
You wanted to get it all,
yes.
Get it all, because I think if you make it more universal, then the message reaches more people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole great thing about. I like more of a contemporary. I like gospel music. The old school stuff, I'm not so thrilled with, but there's a place for it and there's an audience for it. Mm-hmm. But I think if you want to get in, there's so much beautiful music that sounds as universal and poppy as you could possibly have, that reaches an audience, and once they listen to the words, mm-hmm. they're moved. So obviously faith is super important to you. Was it always part of the household?
Yes, and I actually started off as a Catholic.
Wow.
So, I've came a long way. I went to a Catholic church, a Pentecostal, Seventh-day Baptist, and now I'm at the Holy Land with Pastor Ty Tribbett. And I love it there. If you guys haven't done so already, please visit. You will be forever changed. I just
Wait, this is the Holy Land Experience on I-4?
Mm-hmm.
I've not been there yet. So there's I know this is going to sound really stupid, but there's a church in there?
Yes.
Okay, see,
this
is no research. Here we go. I did not know I thought that was a tourist attraction.
Tourist attraction, but there is service. So on Sundays.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm, Sundays, 11:30 a.m. and then on Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. So it's amazing. You don't. For me, and I think this is what I struggled with going to church, was finding that place to call home, where you don't have to feel judged about what you wear and how you say certain things. Of course, you have to be respectful, but I just love for the fact you could just be yourself. And people actually take the time to learn you for you.
That's so important. I think we, as a church in general, and I'm generalizing all churches, all mm-hmm. faiths, we tend to not want to associate or affiliate with those people who aren't like us. And I think that's why there are so many lost souls, because they want to find a place to worship, mm-hmm. whatever your worship is, but we don't always open the door. So talk about the title, right? So that was so intriguing to me, because again, as you guys know, I did no research. I didn't even know what Jessica did, but I love the title, "The Armor of God," War Cry, right?
Yes.
So talk about that. Give us a background. That's obviously something very important to you. Tell us why.
So the Armor of God, War Cry was I think the soundtrack of my life till this day, and still going forth. And I think a lot of people can relate to it. In the book of Ephesians, it basically talks about, putting on the armor of faith and really knowing that you're not alone in whatever battle that you're fighting. And it's not just you on the playing field, it's you and God, There's not really any place in the Bible where it talks about you're all alone fighting whatever that you're going through, and God is on the other side of you, for whatever that you're going through. And I thought that was so intriguing and encouraging. And War Cry for me was like, okay, well, what are you fighting for? And for me, I was diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome at a very young age. And I grew depressed. I didn't know how to address it to a lot of people. I didn't know where to start, and sure. I grew upset at God, and I was asking, well, why did it have to happen to me, and I find myself throughout time, especially like researching about it a little bit, that, you're not alone, everyone else has a different sickness, and it could be worse, and be blessed that you're living. And two, it's like, okay, well, for me in particular, now that I'm using this platform as a gospel artist, why not use my music to really bring to light what's going on in the world, bring certain awarenesses and the word, keeping people encouraged and uplifted, because it's hard, Some people, they have people to run to and get support from, sure. And others, they're to themselves and they don't know how to, get that help. So why not start with me, And I feel like that's part of the reason why I was put on this planet to be part of that blessing in someone's life.
It's your ministry, really. It's your ministry. You're out there. You come from a place of experience. I think Sarai is on. Hi, Sarai.
Hi.
I think that a lot of people have, on different levels, obviously experienced that kind of why me. I think it's a natural human reaction to when anything goes on and you get upset, you get angry. It's certainly not, we're all human, so you don't go, oh my God, I'm so happy I have that, praise God. It's just not the natural reaction. I think there's a lot of ministry and preaching out there that says, just immediately embrace it, thank God, la la la. Well, I'm sorry, we're human. So you have to kind of go through that. You have to figure out where you're at. Got to go through the emotions. But the whole time, and I did a post about this on Sunday. We're talking to God. That's the best part. Like you may be angry, you may be really ticked off, you may be upset, but you're still having a discussion, which you can call it prayer, whatever you want to call it. You are having a discussion. But it's natural. I think people judge themselves because they want to be strong, and immediately, because you're a woman or a man of faith, you're supposed to just drop down, read 10 scriptures, and then everything's okay. And it's just not. It doesn't feel good. Most of the time you don't physically feel good. Then you've got the mental thing going on. But the point is to continue to have the continuity and the conversations with God, with your faith, whatever you have. And I think that's where you were at. So you're angry, you're ticked off. How do you make the leap? What was it? Was there a turning point for you where you go, all right, I'm tired of being angry. I'm tired of being mad. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something positive. Was there an event that happened, or was it just over time because you had to continue to have the conversations?
I want to say it's a mixture of both. Giving, I think, helped me turn my mindset around in regards to that. And a phrase that stuck out to me was, well, why not? Instead of saying, why me?
I love that.
Why not? You have that platform to tell your story to those who are not as familiar with it, or who don't have that shoulder to lean on in regards to that. And for me as an individual and as a person at the end of the day too, being a Christian is not, flowers and petals and sunlight.
Not even close, guys. Not even close. It's a beautiful place to be, but it doesn't mean there's no struggle.
No, for real. And I grew appreciative of that, and I embrace it now. It doesn't wear me, I wear it.
I like that. That's great.
And it's easy to be consumed with that, and you just gotta be humble about it. And really just thanking God for every single moment, because it teaches humility throughout time.
I agree. Change your perspective, Anna Mary says. Absolutely. That's sweet, Chris. Thank you. Thanks for supporting. Yeah, I think it's so important because I think we, people from the outside world, look at people of faith as just going forth, doing good, and never having any kind of issues, or not admitting them, or not wanting, or we don't have to deal with them. Listen, guys, you're human. God, obviously we're all human, so there's no perfect human being. And I guarantee you, there's no surprises for him. So what we do and how we react is a normal thing if you've got something going on. But what I love Jessica saying is there's a way to figure out how to maneuver through it. And it may be a process, but if you're continuing your relationship with your faith, with your God, with whatever, again, you do that is healing and wonderful for you, and you continue to do it consistently, you begin to come out of that rabbit hole. And that's what you did. So music is a big part of that for you.
Yeah.
That's become your way to communicate what we're just talking about here to other people. Now, do you write songs too?
Yes.
Okay.
So
tell us about that process, because I'm fascinated. It's cathartic, I would imagine, but how do you make it so it's got faith, it's got your beliefs, it's got what you have going on, and yet you, like you said, you're making it more universal?
Yes. So writing, it's different for a lot of people. Me, I'm kind of weird about it, but I think normal and natural. um,
That's okay. That's perfect. That describes everybody, I think, in some way, shape, or
yeah.
form.
Songwriting for me can come from a conversation, for what we're having now. It could come from me watching a movie, just being out and just, enjoying the weather. But it also starts with, a topic off the top of my head. So if I wanted to talk about having someone to call a best friend, where would I start? And with some people it's a verse, some people it's a chorus.
Right.
I always like something that could stick with me. I can't do music that just disappears within the next 5 seconds. It's
Right.
like, is that a song or not? So
Which happens a lot to me at my age. I'm like, is that music? Did that just happen?
mhm. And I really do live by, good things come to those who wait. And I apply that to my music. I don't rush the process in writing my
That's
music.
awesome.
I take my time. Even if it's something that's very sentimental to me, it could be 3 weeks past. And my song might come in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping. Believe it or not. But
Believe it.
that's what makes it so good. And then, like, when I sing it back to myself and I record it on my phone and I start putting the harmonies all together and I play it on the piano, it's like, wow, thank you, God.
I think that's such a gift to be able to. I can't even read music, but I love
Wow.
music. But I think it's such a gift to be able to hear all of that in your head, to be able to, because you're basically visualizing this amazing masterpiece, this thing that has to be birthed. As somebody who's artist driven, I can't paint, draw, or anything, but I know there's that birthing process. You have to get it out. And so I think it's amazing that you can hear all that, see all that, visualize that, and have it all come together. So I think that's awesome.
Thank you.
So talk about where you're at now in the musical career. Jim Aliphant says the challenge with being a Christian is it forges our character. We complain and cry, why me? And I can't read the rest of it, Jim, but I promise you we'll respond after the show. So where are you at career-wise? What are you trying to accomplish now?
I just want to be able to break ground. I'm still underground, so I mean, whenever I get the opportunity and the privilege to sing at churches, I do so. But one of my main goals is just to be mainstream, honestly. Known as a gospel artist and a songwriter, and a representation for women empowerment, which is one of my biggest things as well as a musician.
What do you mean by that? You want to empower women to...
So I have a project called OYP, which stands for Own Your Pretty, and this also, goes in conjunction with polycystic ovarian syndrome, and this is how I pay my homage to women, bringing to light the different stories that other women go through, and just making them feel secure in who they are. It doesn't have to always be on a medical aspect, but just from a self-esteem, it's okay to be natural, it's okay not to wear no makeup, and it's okay to own your curves, and no one is overlooking you. Sometimes it's like it's like digging for gold or digging for a diamond. You're not gonna get it off the first scoop.
Right.
It's gonna take some effort, it's gonna take some sweat, it's gonna take some blood and tears, and once you get to the depth of it, in the back, you realize how precious you are, because God was saving you for someone special, and it's the same thing in turn. Like, it took you many obstacles and hurdles to see how beautiful you really were, from all that you suffered prior. So that's OYP to me. Own Your Pretty.
Own Your Pretty. I
Yes.
love that. Wyatt wants to know if you'll sing a note or two.
Okay. I'll give you a little preview of the song OYP, actually.
Okay, please do.
Look in the mirror and tell me, what do you see? Do you think highly of yourself? If life was an interview, well, tell me, would you be ready to share yourself with the world? There's no need to hide away the beauty that you possess. Has anyone told you that you're beautiful? Learn to Be comfortable, skin that you live in. It's your place to call home. Just own yours and love your pretty. Just own, love your pretty.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful. I have
Thank
chills.
you,
That's
thank you.
gorgeous. Are you going to the International Christian Film Festival this weekend?
I'm trying to. I don't know yet.
I have a ticket for you if you want to go.
What?
Absolutely.
God
Guest
is
pass.
Thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. I've been trying to get them to come on the show, but we just couldn't coordinate. So I was going to work red carpet on Saturday, but I can't. And so a friend of mine, Melissa Rodriguez, has some guest passes for me.
Oh,
and so I will be happy to bless you with one
Thank you.
because she blessed me. You should go to that. You should attend the sessions, especially that have to do with music. I think it would be awesome for you.
I love you so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I mean, you never know. I mean, I asked for those not knowing who I would be able to give them to, but I knew somebody. God always does that, right? All right, so what do you want to tell somebody out there who wants to get into music, or maybe they're feeling challenged because they've got a health issue? What's the first thing that you would do? What's the first thing that you would have them do so that they can make the next step, try to make progress, try to get out of it?
I would say to know who you are, establish your worth, because people will try to, change you, even though they know that you're great. And especially if you're not secure in it, you got to be able to take the punches and give punches as well. And it doesn't always have to be in a very dangerous way or harmful way, but more so like on a spiritual level. You got to be able to put up the fight and establish your audience. Who are you singing for? What do you stand for? Start studying, or if you haven't done so, start studying some artists that aspire you to be better and be great, and challenge your writing capabilities, and challenge your drive and effort as a musician. Don't be afraid to go back to the basics, whether if it's classical, the Renaissance, Bach. You never know where your next hit will come from. I'm telling you from experience. And most importantly, if it relates to your health and you're trying to find a way to advocate for something positive in the audience like that, I would definitely say do some research. Find some ways that you could collaborate with other people who suffer from it or know someone who suffers from it, and always keep God in the center of everything that you do. There's no way you could accomplish anything in this world without Him, and I'm saying that from experience, not to turn anybody, just from experience.
Amen.
And I think once you found yourself and who you believe and what you stand for, everything will come easy.
I mean, you need your own show. I didn't do anything but ask a couple of questions. All right, so we're going to share all of Jessica's contact information, how you can reach out to her, how you can find out more about her journey, her music, what she did, what she does. And I think the message, and I'll let you obviously have the final word, but the message that I love so much is that you're not alone. So I think a lot of people go through things like when you had polycystic ovarian syndrome, right? So you think, oh my God, I don't even know anything about that, and I'm all by myself. Because normally you don't have a group of friends and somebody else has it, right? So you're going through this stuff you feel like you're going through this stuff by yourself. Do the research, like she said. You've got your friend group, your faith, your family, but you also need to have real information. And there's plenty of groups out there. The great thing about social media, one of them, is now there's 1,000 groups out there that you can join. And every single condition, syndrome, disease, everything has a group. So you don't have to do it by yourself. If you can't find the resources, reach out to me, reach out to the city, the county. Trust me, there are resources for whatever you happen to be going through. Sometimes it's hard to maneuver through and find them, but you can find them, because the last thing you want to do is try to go through it all by yourself. You're not alone. You're not all by yourself. All right. So, any parting words of wisdom for them? Anything you want to share before we head out?
Parting words of wisdom. I would say you are precious in your own way, and never let anyone take you out. Um, the battle, it has just begun, and there's more to come.
I love it. All right. So that is Jessica Laurore. The Armor of God War Cry. I just love, again, you can't make my face up. That's why I do no research. I had no idea what to expect today. I had no earthly idea what we were going to talk about. But as a man of faith, I just go with the flow and know it's all going to work out the way it's supposed to. And what a beautiful, wonderful gift to have you on the show today. Reach out to Jessica if you want to hear more about her music. You want to tap her brain. Obviously, this is her ministry and her gift, and she wants to give it out to the world. So thanks for being on the show. You're a joy.
Thank you.
We love you guys. We'll be back tomorrow. Big hugs and kisses. Mwah. God bless you.